everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am Wesley Crane, and today we are talking about what goes inside my actual gear bag for a professional wrestling event. Now before we start, I have no affiliation with any product or brand within this gear bag. I just happen to like the product enough to use it every time I have an event. Now starting off with the bag itself, this is the American Tourister 25-inch hard side bag. I tend to like the hard side bags a lot more simply because if anybody throws it, if it gets hit or bumps into anything, nothing is happening to this bag. It's good, it's solid. But let's go ahead and see what goodies are inside the bag. So starting off in the main compartment of the bag, the first thing we come to is probably the thing that gets used the most. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a locker room where there's no chairs, no place to change and actually sit down. So this comes in handy. This is the Lazy Stool by Versebrain. I got this on Amazon off of a recommendation from a friend, and I can't tell you how many times this thing has saved my ass. As you can see, there are 2 notches here and 2 notches on the bottom. All you gotta do is take it by those 2 notches and expand it. And it turns into this awesome little stool that you can carry around in your gear bag. And I'll be sure to have links to everything that I use in my gear bag in the description below, just in case you want to check it out. Next thing we have here is my entrance vest. Now this is a black entrance vest with homemade patches on it. I have the Violence Over Everything, the 1-800 as well as a few different enamel pins. I've got Jason Voorhees as well as the Black Widow enamel pin on the jacket, just to show a little bit of my personal personality while I'm out there. The next thing we have in here are my knee pads. Now, I use AMA long style knee pads. I found that I really dig the compression that AMA gives me, and I like the longer style as opposed to the shorter style simply because it covers more surface area. However, I have noticed that while using these knee pads, it is a little more difficult to perform some of the moves that I perform, such as my inverted cannonball. So here soon I will be implementing a new style of knee pad to hopefully remedy that. Next up is a custom knee sleeve from the very first set of gear that I ever wore. This is just a simple black knee pad sleeve with the Chaos Star prominent in the center. I've used this since 2018. It always finds its way back into my attire somehow, some way. Now the knee sleeve isn't the only part of my old gear that found its way into my current attire. I also have the original trunks that were made for me back in 2018. Just standard black trunks with my name on the back and the Chaos logo on the front. I always choose to wear these over traditional underwear because it's a little bit more comfortable while I'm in the ring. And of course the next thing is gonna be the jeans that I wear while I wrestle. These are simple Levi's signature black jeans from Walmart. I got them in slim so they taper a little bit on the boot and just look a little bit nicer. However, I did take scissors and a razor blade to them to grunge them up a little bit and make them a little bit more custom. I found that I really like these signature jeans because there's a little bit of stretch and play to them. And I did reinforce the crotch with a little bit of spandex on the inside just to have a little bit more play room while I'm out in the ring. The next order of business is going to be the cutoff shirt I wear while I'm in the ring. I carry 3 or 4 different shirts with me. As you can see, I have the Violence Over Everything cutoff right here, as well as the original blood splatter design that I designed years ago. And of course, you can get the shirt that I'm wearing right now at my website, www.IamWesleyCrane.com. Support your boy, get yourself a shirt, and come see me at the next event that you're at. Next, we're going to talk about the one superstition when it comes to professional wrestling that I have. And that's the fact that every time I perform, I am wearing character socks. Yes. Character socks. Whether it be horror, superheroes, anime, Harry Potter, you name it, I've worn it. I don't know why I have this superstition. All I know is the fact that anytime I have worn character socks, I have never been hurt. It is only the times that I haven't worn these type of socks that I've been injured. So character socks, always in the bag. Next are going to be the boots that I currently wear. I currently wear Title short style boxing boots. As you can see, I've colored around the T and the Title to be a lot less noticeable while I'm moving in the ring. But this is a great budget boot for someone who doesn't have the money to go spend on a pair of wrestling boots just yet. Wrestling boots can run you anywhere from $175, $200, sometimes even $300. And this is a great budget buy at only $50. Again, the link is in the description below. Next is the belt that I wear. This is just a simple standard black leather belt from Walmart. It's held up over the years, and I have tried other belts, studded belts and such, for different looks of the attire, but they always break or get misplaced or something happens to them. But this belt, this is Old Faithful. It stays in my gear bag all the time. And of course I have my spray bottle. It's a continuous spray bottle, so I just pump this a few times and and it gets my hair all nice and wet, so I look all slimy while I'm out there. And of course, to finish off the main portion of my gear bag, we have my wrist wraps. I started using wrist wraps over tape a long time ago, as I found that using tape, I wasted a lot of time and I spent more money on tape than I needed to. These wrist wraps are from Gym Reaper. They're black on black and they're very, very, very comfortable. I've also found that they give me fantastic wrist support while I'm out performing in the ring. Now, moving on to the second portion of my gear bag. Starting out with this clear slot here, we have the glasses that I wear during my entrance by Proud Demon. These are black on black, round sunglasses that I wear every time I come out. Fun fact, everybody points out that I look like Heisenberg from Resident Evil. But the round shades and the flat brim hat look actually came from a few of my photography buddies. So it's just an amalgamation of my friends on me in front of cameras. Next, I do carry wrist tape in my gear bag. I carry extra wrist tape just in case anybody in the locker room may need it. There's always someone who needs it or doesn't have it. And that brings us to arguably the most important thing I carry in my gear bag, and that is my medical kit. Now, in this medical kit, there's anything I may ever need in a medical emergency. There's ointment, there are Band-Aids, there are alcohol swabs, you name it, it's in here. And for a guy like me that bleeds a lot during his matches, this comes in handy. Now, moving over to this zipper pouch here. First and foremost, we have a decal of one of my buddies who passed away recently. I keep this in here just as a remembrance of him. He was also a professional wrestler, and I miss him very, very dearly. And just under that is this little wallet case. It carries all of my wrestling licenses and any important documents I may need backstage at a wrestling event. Moving over, we have a couple Sharpies. I like these thick king-size Sharpies. They tend to give a nice thick signature, and it just looks really nice on a poster or anything you may need to sign. And in that same section with them is this nifty little case. I found this at Walmart, and it actually houses a battery bank as well as some chargers for my phone, the battery bank, as well as my headphones. It also has a card reader. As a traveling entertainer, it's always wise to not just take cash, but take card as well. I mean, everywhere takes card. You walk into a place, you're swiping your card, you're buying things. Always good to have. Now that's it for the main portions of my bag. Behind this portion is actually what happens after the show. So when it comes to post-show, I always have a towel to towel down with. Whether it be sweaty, bloody, dirty, you name it, this towel works for anything. Of course, I have a change of clothes. Personally, I like to wear a hoodie post-show, as well as a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. I found that I like shorts rather than joggers or track pants just because they breathe a little bit better and they're just a little more comfortable. So outfit for post-show, in the bag. And finally, that brings us to this little guy. This is my health and wellness bag. Inside this bag are several items. First and foremost, we have a few different beard brushes. One is a little more stiff than the other for those nights that I want a little bit of variety. I also carry a couple different beard oils. I like the Duke Cannon Big Bourbon Beard Oil as well as the Grave Before Shave Aphrodisiac scent. My wife really likes this aphrodisiac scent, but if you're a bearded man and you haven't tried this Duke Cannon Big Bourbon yet, definitely give it a try. I swear you'll love it. It just smells so good. I also carry a few solid colognes, again by Duke Cannon. This is the Oak Barrel scent. It's very similar to the Big Bourbon scent of the beard oil. I also really like this Bay Rum scent for a little bit of diversity. Of course, I have my general health and wellness things for my teeth, shaving, so on and so forth, as well as a lip balm, again by Duke Cannon. I have this little nose hair trimmer and shaver just in case there's any small little flyaways I need to get gone. A little tube with a few Tylenol. just in case I have a small headache or something like that. And finally, the last two things that are in my health and wellness bag are the conditioner that I use for while I'm wrestling. It keeps my hair nice and wet looking, overall more aesthetically pleasing, as well as Tiger Balm for when I have an ache, pain, or just a sore muscle that needs to be held over while I'm at the event. And that brings us to the end of the video. That is everything that goes into my gear bag when I attend a professional wrestling event. Again, links for everything that I use in the description below. Before we go, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you.